The View got 30. Is that defamation?
Lawsuits.
They got 30 of them.
Wow. So is this going to shut them down?
I bet their attorney talks to them like weekly about briefs them like all these lawsuits and what's going to happen and this and that, because it sounds like them things just keep rolling in there, man.
When you get a lawsuit, I mean, what is that? Do you have to pay the lawsuit? Oh, you can get a lawsuit, but does that mean it's
I don't know.
valid?
I guess it depends on how. I don't know what makes it. I know they probably have attorneys on that show and stuff like that, but that just show you how much you suck. So let's see what these lawsuits talking about. Y'all know that these people need to go on somewhere, and eventually it's going to happen. And eventually, thank God, they will be off the air, suspended. And this is just for information purposes. Entertainment.
Some crazy misogynist engineered The View, because there's nothing worse than The View. In terms of like, there are so many brilliant women out there. None of them are on The View.
People want us divided, and they aren't just here in this country. They're foreign adversaries who are infiltrating our social media because it is prudent for us to stay that way.
You're seeing this, not just waste. You could call it waste, but it's deeper. It's deeper than waste. It's corruption. And you're seeing that corruption get weeded out. I am hoping that this is successful and that it yields a benefit to the American people, to the working class people, to everybody, where they recognize, like, hey, we can't just be spending all our tax money on nonsense.
It finally happened. The tables are turned, and The View is taking its last breath. But this isn't just a scandal. It's a full-blown legal catastrophe. Over 30 defamation lawsuits have been filed against the show, and this time, they're not just facing Twitter backlash or angry rants from their usual critics. Nope, this is serious, costly, and possibly career-ending. Let's be real. The View has spent years taking aim at public figures, throwing accusations left and right, often without a second thought. The hosts built their brand on controversial hot takes, but now they're the ones being dragged into court. The same media machine that thrived on holding others accountable is now stuck in its own trap. At first, they did what they always do, shrug it off.
No problem with people, performing. Carrie Underwood performed and said, listen, it's not political for me. I love my country.
I appreciate that people are having a hard time. Me too.
Yeah.
I work for a living. If I had all the money in the world, I would not be here.
They laughed, cracked jokes, and acted like this was just another overblown controversy.
Wait. So with that, real quick, what is her net worth? She said she act like she only making $40,000 a year. Man, they got her between 30 and 60 million. What are you talking about? Talking crazy.
That's still not all the money in the world.
Ain't all the money, but that's enough not to have to do that kind of stuff. This kind of show.
Something they could ride out like all the others. Business as usual, right? Wrong. This time, the backlash didn't just come from frustrated viewers or political opponents. It came from lawyers. And lawsuits, they don't just disappear with an apology segment. Behind the scenes, ABC's legal team was in full panic mode. They knew defamation lawsuits are tough to win, but when you're dealing with clear-cut, undeniable false accusations, the risk goes through the roof. It's no longer just about reputation. It's about losing millions in legal battles. Networks don't like losing money, and this was bleeding cash. ABC executives had to make a brutal decision: keep the show on air and risk massive legal payouts that could drain the network, or shut it down indefinitely and cut their losses before it got even worse. And guess what? They pulled the plug.
Words matter, and mine are no exception.
She like a pug right now.
And I stand corrected.
Whoa.
This wasn't just a temporary break or a we'll be back soon situation. This was a full-blown, indefinite suspension.
Oh my God.
When ABC finally addressed the chaos, they released a carefully worded statement saying they were reassessing the direction of the show and taking concerns seriously. Translation, they knew they messed up. There was no way to spin this as a misunderstanding. Too many lawsuits, too much evidence, too much money at stake. But the real drama, that was happening behind closed doors. Sources say Whoopi Goldberg lost it. She was furious, blaming the entire situation on cancel culture and insisting she was being unfairly targeted, even by her own political allies. Imagine that. After years of defending her side, she suddenly felt betrayed. But let's be honest, was this really about cancel culture? Or was this just karma finally catching up? Because at the end of the day, when you build a platform on tearing people down, you better make sure you don't slip up. And now, the show that once had the power to make or break reputations is watching its own legacy crumble. For years, Whoopi Goldberg and her co-hosts have built their entire reputation on throwing out wild accusations without a shred of proof. They went after celebrities, politicians, and billionaires like it was sport.
You know, when you're a certain age, you use words that you know from when you were a kid or you remember saying, and that's what I did today, and I shouldn't have.
Sure, Karen.
I should have thought about it a little longer before I said it, but I didn't.
Karen
and I
Smith.
should have said cheated, and I used another word, and I'm really, really sorry.
Acting as if their words carried no consequences. Whether it was Elon Musk, Donald Trump, or even Carrie Underwood, The View never seemed to care about backing up their claims with actual evidence. They played fast and loose with the truth, assuming they were untouchable. But here's the thing. When you keep throwing mud at people who have the money and power to fight back, sooner or later, it backfires. And now, that moment has finally arrived. This isn't just a few celebrities sending warning letters or demanding an apology. This is a full-scale legal storm that The View never saw coming. More than 30 defamation lawsuits have landed on the doorstep, and suddenly, all those reckless claims aren't so funny anymore. And Whoopi, she might not walk away from this one. For years, she's been twisting facts and throwing out damaging allegations without hesitation. But now, some of the biggest and most powerful names she's targeted are done playing along. They aren't just coming for an apology. They're coming for money, credibility, and possibly even Whoopi's entire career. This isn't just about embarrassing The View. This is about making sure the people responsible pay up. At first, it started small. A few legal threats, some strongly worded letters from high-profile attorneys, nothing they hadn't dealt with before. But then, it snowballed. One lawsuit turned into dozens, and now some of the most unexpected names have joined forces to take down the show once and for all.
And as we speak, the world's richest man, Elon Musk, has full access to the U.S. Treasury federal payment system, and Democrats are ringing the alarm bell.
Elon Musk invested, almost $300 million that we know of on the Donald Trump campaign. Yesterday, Senator Klobuchar made a joke. She said, what's the difference between Donald Trump and Greenland? Greenland isn't for sale.
And leading the charge, Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Elon Musk has been one of The View's favorite punching bags for a long time. They've thrown every accusation imaginable at him, from corporate corruption to outlandish conspiracy theories. And for the most part, Musk ignored it. He had bigger things to focus on, but this time, it's different. The allegations have crossed the line, and Musk isn't just brushing them off anymore. He's taking legal action. And Trump? Well, when has he ever backed down from a fight? After years of being one of the show's most relentless targets, he's finally firing back. The lawsuits he's bringing to the table could cost The View millions. And if things go the way his legal team expects, this could be the final nail in the show's coffin. So how did things spiral out of control this fast? And more importantly, can Whoopi and The View survive this legal firestorm?
I don't think so.
Or is this truly the beginning of the end? For years, The View has taken every possible shot at Elon Musk. His ownership of Twitter, his businesses, even his personal life. No topic was off limits for Whoopi and her co-hosts when it came to dragging his name through the mud. But this time, Musk isn't just clapping back. He's hitting where it hurts. After winning an $80 million lawsuit against Whoopi Goldberg, Musk has officially filed new defamation lawsuits against The View, claiming they have spread false and damaging statements about him and his companies.
They have.
That's what I was thinking at the time. I'm looking. I was two tables away from Trump, and I'm looking. I'm like, man, this is too much.
And let's be real.
Wow.
Elon Musk isn't someone you want to take on in court. This man
I
has
went
the
there.
money, the lawyers, and the resources to make this legal battle long, expensive, and absolutely brutal for Whoopi and ABC. But here's where things get even messier. Musk isn't the only one going after them. Donald Trump and his wife are gearing up for legal action too. Remember when The View used to praise Trump? Back when he was just a businessman, they loved having him on the panel, laughing at his jokes, soaking up his larger-than-life personality. But the moment he got into politics, he became their number one enemy.
Yeah.
And for years, they've made one defamatory claim after another, never expecting real consequences. Well, Trump is done letting it slide.
The proudest legacy will be that of a peacemaker and unifier. That's what I want to be.
So if he's sending all the criminals away, where is he going?
His legal team has reportedly been gathering evidence against The View for years. Every comment, every false accusation, every moment where Whoopi and her co-hosts crossed the line, it's all been documented. And now it's all heading to court. But if you think Trump's lawsuits are just about legal drama, think again. His lawsuits don't just come with court battles, they come with exposure. If this case blows up, Whoopi and her team won't just be facing legal consequences, they'll be publicly dragged through the mud, with nowhere to run. And here's the real plot twist. It's not just Musk and Trump lining up the lawyers. Even Hollywood and the music industry are turning against The View. And when you've got both sides of the entertainment industry ready to take you down, you're in serious trouble. And this next one, nobody saw coming. Carrie Underwood is suing The View. Yeah, you heard that right. A country music superstar is officially taking legal action against Whoopi and her team. And why? Because, just like everyone else, they thought they could run their mouths without ever facing real consequences. They treated celebrities like punching bags, assuming nobody would ever hit back. But guess what? Now they are. With Musk, Trump, Hollywood.
Country superstar Carrie Underwood has spent most of her career avoiding political talk, but she's set to perform at the upcoming inauguration. She said in a statement that she's doing it because the country must come together in the spirit of unity and look to the future. And lots of her fans aren't thrilled about it, but lots of her fans are.
And even country music royalty all coming after them. The View isn't just dealing with a controversy, it's fighting for its survival. This time, The View picked the wrong person to mess with. What started as just another reckless, off-the-cuff remark from Joy Behar has exploded into a full-blown legal battle.
So I did not know that Carrie Underwood was suing them.
Yeah, we covered that before. That she was coming after them. So it's a lot.
So
it's
official.
I'm gonna have to look it up to see how official it is.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I thought that was just talks, but okay. Well.
Because I thought all of them were talks. To be honest, like Melania and Trump and Elon, but I think there's truth to
behind. Yeah, it's not just bluff.
Right.
It all began when Joy Behar made outrageous claims about Carrie Underwood, suggesting that she was betraying her country simply because she supported Donald Trump. And did she have a single shred of evidence to back it up? Not at all. She just threw it out there on national television, like it was fact, assuming no one would dare challenge her. But Carrie Underwood wasn't about to sit back and let it slide. Unlike other celebrities who fire back with a Twitter rant and move on, Carrie went straight to the courts. According to legal documents, the country music superstar is suing The View for millions in damages, claiming that Joy Behar's false accusations have had a serious impact on both her emotional well-being and financial stability. And here's the thing, country music fans don't play when it comes to loyalty. Any damage to an artist's reputation, even from a false accusation, can have long-term consequences. Underwood's lawsuit is crystal clear. Joy Behar's words weren't just baseless gossip. They were deliberately designed to damage her reputation. And when it comes to defamation lawsuits,
She says, I love our country. How do you love your country and support and normalize somebody who was a convicted felon who really wants to destroy the country, in my opinion? I don't understand how you say you love your country at the same time as you normalize this convicted felon.
that matters. If
Woke-
Carrie can
woke-
prove that The View
woke
made these
at her.
statements knowing they were
Whack her.
false, or worse, that they recklessly disregarded the truth, then Joy Behar and ABC could be looking at a financial disaster. But here's where it gets even uglier. Carrie's lawsuit was just the beginning. Her case has blown the doors wide open. Other country music stars have now stepped forward, calling out The View for their bias, double standards, and blatant attacks on artists they don't agree with. Some have been silent victims for years, choosing to ignore the jabs and move on. Not anymore. Now they're speaking out, and some are even hinting at their own legal action. Now, if you know Joe Rogan, You know he doesn't play games.
Now, that was
He's built his
interesting.
career on calling out hypocrisy, and he's never been afraid to speak his mind, no matter how controversial it might be. But for some reason, Whoopi Goldberg thought she could take a shot at him without facing any blowback.
This was right after she was saying, we are run by ABC News. You should trust us, not Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. So she
What?
by saying we should trust them because they're double checked by
Yeah.
ABC News, and then making the stupid statement.
During a segment on The View, Whoopi labeled Rogan as dangerous and irresponsible, claiming his podcast was spreading harmful misinformation. Now, let's be real. This isn't the first time Joe Rogan has been accused of that. He's had his fair share of critics, but here's where Whoopi messed up. Her specific claims weren't just opinions. They were statements that could be legally challenged. Joe Rogan isn't just a guy with a mic. He's a business mogul. His brand is worth millions, and his podcast reaches more people than The View ever has. When Whoopi went after him, she wasn't just attacking an individual. She was attacking an empire. And Rogan, he wasn't about to let it slide. The moment Whoopi's comments aired, Rogan fired back. But he didn't just defend himself. He went on the offensive. He exposed The View's own misleading statements, called out the double standards, and reminded his audience that The View had been guilty of spreading falsehoods for years. He pulled receipts, clip after clip of the hosts making blatantly misleading claims while conveniently ignoring facts that didn't fit their narrative. And he didn't stop there.
Never committed to doing it. This is like really important because they keep pretending that I lied or I did this or I did that. They never committed to doing it.
Well,
we went through, I've got a whole, we have all the receipts, by the way.
Of course.
I have a whole list of conversations that took place. They never said she was going to do it. So this whole idea that we her over and then we over for Trump, incorrect. Just not true.
Joe Rogan filed a massive lawsuit
stand
against
them.
The View, accusing them of defamation and damage to his brand. His legal team came prepared, compiling video evidence to show exactly how The View had twisted facts, lied about him, and engaged in the very misinformation they accused others of. At this point, the damage was uncontrollable. With multiple high-profile lawsuits piling up, a public backlash growing by the day, and advertisers pulling out, there was only one way this could end. And that's exactly what happened. ABC pulled the plug. They couldn't ignore the chaos anymore. The legal battles, the wave of celebrities and fans turning against.
I'm assuming allegedly.
What?
Allegedly, they pulled the plug.
Right. Well, I haven't heard that yet.
I ain't heard
so
that yet. It's on. It's just
we don't know how accurate that statement is.
them. The PR disaster, it was all too much. ABC had no choice but to suspend the show indefinitely. And Whoopi, well, let's just say she might have single-handedly ended her own career. So what do you think about The View getting shut down?
Okay, great people, we got to do more research on that. I don't know for sure. I have not heard anybody
I don't believe that to be true.
else has mentioned that, so that is just their implication.
Yeah.
So far, so an allegation. I don't know that
Pretty
to
much,
be
it gotta
true.
be.
I mean, I think it's going to be a lot. You know, it's going to take a lot to shut that show down.
I believe within 2 years, 2 years to 3 years, that show will be no more. Within Trump's administration. Not saying he's doing anything with that, but within the 4-year window, I think they'll be gone.
Well, we're going to see.
What are their ratings?
They're going to replace it by with something else. Watch. It won't be The View, but it's going to be
Whoopi.
a whole nother show with some light characters, or maybe one of two of those same people, and then these other people going to branch off and have their own little side show somewhere. Watch. Oh, you won't be able to get rid of them women. But at least all together cackling hens who ain't giving you all the facts and twisting up the information. I'm glad they getting sued. I really am. Because you know, misleading people on false pretenses and then putting your own twist to it, and you don't have a lick of factual, or you got a little bit of facts, but the rest is all tainted and twisted. That still ain't it. Even if you got a little bit of facts, I don't even know. I can't even say that they even have a little bit, because a lot of their stuff was off. It's like, where are you getting this information from? How are you coming to this?
Well, I'm gonna say this. Even though I don't believe, you know, this. So this channel is called Frame Rush, and they made this video. Even though I don't believe this to be true,
100% true.
I do believe by the growing amount of channels and people reporting The View that this is a clear indication that the fall is near.
Okay.
Now I believe that because a lot of channels will put up and they'll say, you know, this is going on, this going on, it's not going on. But by everyone talking about it, that's usually right after the fall.
Yeah.
Because I think the fall for them is near.
Okay. Well, you know, they've had their run, so I'm interested to see what's going to come of these lawsuits, though. Melania, I know, and Trump. You know, I didn't know Trump. I thought it was just her, but it could be them together. And
because they've been wrong about him too. They've been trying to bash him too.
Elon. So hey, about time.
Oh yeah.
About time.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
And there may be so many other people that wanted to, but just didn't have the funds or didn't want to invest the time or didn't think they would be able to hold up to ABC because that's a big network.
A hardcore lawsuit from Elon and Melania is enough to shut the show down. A hardcore one that they will be in court fighting that for years. So that's enough to shut them down. All right, y'all. About to end this thing off. Hope y'all watch to the end. We appreciate y'all.
Subscribe to the channel, great people. Like this video.
See you on the next one.